Okay, you guys are seriously going to hurt me now because at this point I've dumped you twice tonight, but I know what it is. The phone does not like flipping back and forth, so when I flip, it drops it. So I'll just make sure that I don't do that. But you guys get a good idea. I don't think that I can link those 3 videos together. We'll put them all together on the main oilabilityteam.com page. I'm really, 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 really sorry that I've lost you 3 times. I'm at the very end of the video. Please forgive me. But you guys get it. So I can't flip it back. When I flip it back, it drops the video. I feel so bad that you guys have had to find me multiple times. We're in the last like 2 minutes of this, so bear with me. So you guys understand what PGV is. It's volume that's outside of your legs. So what I want you to do is I want you to start building that before you hit silver. Don't do it when you hit silver. Why? Because once you hit silver, you got to be teaching classes for your leaders. You're going to be working with your leaders. When you first start your business, that's the best time to build PGV because you don't have any leaders you have to pour into. You know, you don't have anybody you have to go teaching classes for. It's just you, yourself, and I. You're worth looking for. Thank you. You guys are like just amazing. Now that I figured out my techie mistakes, I will not do them again, I promise. All right, so PGV, volume outside your legs. Outside your legs. Personal group volume. Mindy says she's confused. So personal group volume, volume outside your legs. So what I want you to do is start building that at the beginning. What does that look like? Diamond Rising. Yes, you are. What does that look like? That means that when you first start your business, just sign everybody under you. There's no strategy at all to it. Everybody's under you. Hold a class, you're the sponsor and enroller. Next class, you're the sponsor and enroller. Next class, you're the sponsor and enroller. Dink to dink to dink to dink to dink. How long do I do that? I do that until I have 10 people under me that are on Essential Rewards. Why? Because if you have 10 people under you that are spending 100 PV a month, what do you have? 1,000 PGV, right? You got your 1,000 PGV, which you need for Royal Crown Diamond and for Silver. If you do it at the beginning, just sign everybody under you. All right, sign them all under you. You're the sponsor, you're the enroller. Get them on Essential Rewards. Exactly. Yep, exactly. So you're building your volume and you've got your PGV. You don't have to worry about it when you hit Silver. You're never going to have your 2 legs and have your volume. No, they're not legs, Mindy. They're just level 1s. They're just level 1s. There's one person signed underneath you. You're not building teams, just legs, or just people. Just people under you. So sponsor, enroller, sponsor, enroller, sponsor, enroller. Over and over and over again, all right? And you're going to do that until you got 8 people under you that are on Essential Rewards. So now you've got your PGV in place. What I do while that's happening, usually it takes about 8 classes to make that happen. About. Some people are rock stars and they'll do it in 1. Some people will get it in 10 classes or 15 classes. It doesn't matter. Don't move anybody. Don't worry about legs. Just sign them under you. Don't sign anybody under anybody else. Just sign them under you. This is the very beginning of your business. This is your first 10 classes that you're doing, okay? Sign everybody under you. Then what you're going to do is as these people are getting it on ER, you wait to see who pops. All right, that's a nickname that we just made up. You wait to see who pops. So somebody who pops is somebody who turns around and sells a starter kit to their best friend. Or there's somebody who gets on ER and they spend $100 and they spend $100 and they spend $100 and they spend $100 or $300 or $300, or maybe they're not on ER yet and they're spending a lot of money. If those people turn into teams, don't count them as part of your 10. If they take off, just forget that they're there and keep going until you get your 1,000 PGV. All right. So once you have somebody that pops, then what I do is I divide my time until I have my PGV. So I'll work with that team and I'll teach them. I'll do the teacher training with them. I'll do their first class with them. I'll help get them off the ground. I'll point them to game plan when they're through their first class. I'll point them to the boot camp. I'll work with them and I'll help them with their team. But I'm still doing classes on my own, not with them, that I'm signing people to build my PGV. Do you understand? So this is the strategy that we use in the Oilability Go team. I'm just going to say, let's just say you just got your starter kit and you want to do the business. You hold your first class, you sign everybody under you. Not building teams, no legs, just sign them under you. You're the sponsor enroller, sponsor enroller, sponsor enroller, sponsor enroller. You do that, you got 6 people that are on Essential Rewards because you got really good follow-up. All of a sudden, one of them pops and they go and they start selling kits. So you sit down with them, you do the 3-page teacher training with them, you get the game plan book in their hands after their first class, you do boot camp with them, you motivate them, maybe you show up to their classes, you're helping them with their classes, maybe the first one they ask you to teach for them just so they can kind of see how it looks. But in that instance, you're going to be the enroller, they're going to be the sponsor because you're building under them. While you're doing that, you're still holding classes on your own that you're signing directly under you until you get your 10 people on Essential Rewards, okay? Then you're going to wait for your second person to pop, and that's how you build. That's how you can keep your legs and your OGV paced exactly the same way. All right. When we hit platinum, I told you guys this once before in another video. When we hit platinum, our legs crossed at 8:15 in the morning. It was the first time we had all 4 legs in place on the 30th of November a year ago. And then 3 hours later at 11, our OGV hit for the first time. That's a really well strategized team. When your legs and your OGV, bam, they hit right at the same time. You did them equally. And now if I have 2 people pop at the same time, I'll teach equally under them. I do one class for one class for another. Maybe you got a rock star leader that really doesn't need a lot of direction. Let them go lead their own team. Point them to the boot camp so they don't make mistakes, the 6 pitfalls that the business builders make. Point into boot camp so they can self-study. Pour into them as much as they want for their own leadership. Maybe you got another person on your team that needs a lot of mentoring and a lot of leadership, and that's okay because there's no wrong way of doing this. So I'll pour into them, but until I have my PGV in place, I keep putting people under me until I have 10 people on ER. All right? Is that clear as mud? That is the strategy to playing the chessboard. And you're always keeping, I'm losing you on this number stuff. Oh man, I'm trying really hard. So let me give it to you in layman's terms and then we'll wrap up. Right, when you start, sign everybody under you. No teams. Don't stack anybody. Everybody under you. When somebody pops, work with them, but also have your own classes. So you sign some under them and you have your own classes until you got your PGV in place. That's that 1,000 that you have to have outside your legs. All right. Once you got your PGV in place, you can sign everybody under your legs. It doesn't matter at that point. You got to make sure you got your PGV in place. What's going to happen then if you do that is when you hit silver, you'll have your legs and you'll never have to worry about having $1,000 in volume outside the legs because you did it right when you started your business. I promise you that as those people pop, you're going to want to be putting your time into them. You're not going to want to be out holding your own classes. You're going to want to be working with your leaders. Do it at the beginning of your business so you don't have to worry about that and you do have the time to dedicate to your leaders. And remember, only think 2 legs ahead. So what happens if you have 2 leaders and you got a 3rd leader that comes along? I would put them under the first 2. If you haven't hit the rank yet to be able to start building your 3rd leg, then I wouldn't start building your 3rd leg. Only go 2 legs ahead. All right. Everybody's got it? Hopefully I made PGV clear as mud. So you guys are following. You guys seem to be following me, so I'm going to let it go. All right. Let me see if there's anything else I wanted to tell you. So go wide before you go deep, only with PGV. I'm not talking about legs, all right, just PGV. So at the beginning, sign them all under you until somebody pops. How do I decide who I'm going to build under? That's a question I get asked a lot. How do I decide who I'm going to build under? You got to gauge their level of commitment. So somebody regularly spending 100 PV that loves the oils, that would be somebody I might build under. I'd have a discussion with them. I'd give them the Your Game Plan book, see if they have an interest in doing the business or at least getting their oils for free. And see where that goes. Somebody who turned around and sold a kit to their sister without me training anybody, training them on it, those are potential leaders. So if you go 8 classes and you don't have a single leader yet in 8 classes, nobody pops, and you've got your PGV in place and nobody around you wants to do the business, then what I would tell you is you're not pushing the business hard enough in your classes, okay? And we have 2 tools for you to help you push the business in your 101 classes. The first one is Game Plan Mini, which I told you a lot about at the very beginning. The second one, the second tool that we have for you is the how to get your oils for free DVD, which is going to be up on Amazon in a few weeks. We're shooting it this week. I have another version of it already done, but I want to make it game plan style so it matches the book. So we're going to reshoot it this week, and then we got to have Amazon accepted, and then it's a process for them to get it up. So give me a few weeks. It'll be after boot camp. Just keep checking this page, the Facebook page, or keep checking the oilabilityteam.com page under the resources. If you look, it'll pop up there when we've got it done. And what I do with that DVD is I just play it right after my 101 class. It's 10 minutes long and it shares the business opportunity with them. How can we utilize the DVD in a Facebook Live class? Kristen, I don't know how to do that because once we put it up on Amazon, it becomes their property and they will not let us do an online version of it. So I don't know that there is a way. You probably would just have to talk through it or share some of the points out of game plan, the mini game plan. All right. We're trying to make it as good as we can, but there are federal copyright laws. And so we're bound by those, and Amazon will own it once we put it up. And we figure that's the easiest way to get it in everybody's hands. All right. So it's 10 minutes long and it shares the business opportunity. So the DVD is a resource we created for you, and then also Game Plan Mini. And just keep propagating that. You're going to have leaders organically pop because just because you're out there sharing the business opportunity. So the PGV rule, the other question I get asked on this is the rule of 10. Why 10? Sarah, why do you wait until you have 10 people that are just your level ones, that are not legs, 10 people that are on essential rewards? So why do you wait for that? Because you need 1,000 PGV. You need 1,000 when you hit silver. You need 10 people on essential rewards ish. Obviously, if you have 3 people spending 300, then you don't need 10, all right? Because you would have 900 just from those 3 people. But I generally just follow the rule of 10. It's going to put a little more in your paycheck, right? So where do I place people? Here's a quick little mnemonic to help you guys get this in your head. E comes before S. Everybody asks, Sarah, I don't understand enroller and sponsor. It's really, really confusing for me. I love that Young Living has it set up this way because it allows you to pour into your leaders and still get the benefit of doing some of the work. So for the first 12 weeks, the paycheck is going to go to you, not the unilevel. The unilevel, that little cut of unilevel will go to your leader. It's a couple dollars for a starter kit, but the fast start and the starter kit bonuses go to you. So if you're teaching a class for a new leader and you sign yourself as enroller and they're the sponsor, you're going to get the $50 for it. And if they buy anything beyond the kit, you're going to get the 25% on it for the first 12 weeks. Which it should be because you taught the class, right? But they're the one that's going to be pouring into them as their leader. So after 12 weeks, they get the benefit of having that person under them. It's actually a perfectly designed system. So how do you understand who's who? Well, E comes before S, all right? E in the alphabet is before S. So E is the higher rank. All right. You can't ever place anybody above you. So if you're teaching for somebody under you, you can't be the sponsor. All right. Because you're the higher rank. So just remember, E comes before S. E is the higher rank. You're the enroller. They're the sponsor if you're working on building a leg. All right. If you are a distributor or a star, how do you know when to start building? Well, if you've got an organic leg already going without you, just encourage and build their PGV. So here's the last question that I get asked very, very often. Sarah, I can't find anybody to teach. I just can't find anybody to teach. I will tell you straight up, and I'm being 100% honest with you, I can't find anybody who doesn't want to teach. I have exactly the opposite problem. When I told you we had 800 people on our team actively holding classes, I meant that. That's 1 in every 4 people on our team. 1 in every 4 is out there teaching classes. Why? Because the stuff I'm putting in your guys' hands, game plan, mini, and all that, we've been doing that on our team for 2 years. So people are excited about it and they understand what Young Living is. So you just got to stack it up against what you're doing right now. If you knew how your friends disliked the way that they were spending their 40 hours at their jobs, you'd be a lot more bold. A lot more bold. It's that timidness in you. There was a study that came out when I was anchoring just like 2 weeks ago, where they said 1 in 5 people do not want to stay at their job this year. 1 in 5 people. So when you go to the grocery store and you're standing in line and there's 5 people in front of you, 1 of them is a potential business builder for your team. When you turn around and you look behind you and there's 5 people behind you, that means 2 people in that line could be a business builder on your team. I think we discount how much people dislike their jobs and dislike what they're doing. I'm going to find that study and I'll put it up on the Facebook page for you guys so you can follow along and read it and share it with your leaders. They don't like where they are. We're just so afraid to tell them that there's something else they could be doing with their life that we don't approach them on it. And that timidness is costing you leaders on your team. And more importantly, it's costing them the freedom and the business opportunity of a lifetime. I am not the person I was 2.5 years ago because of this business. It's completely different for me, totally different for me. So if you want the benefits to go to those people, then you have to be bold and approach them about it. You've got to be bold, even if it just means popping in a DVD or handing them that book as a gift. All right. Even if that's the biggest step that you take towards sharing the business opportunity, it's still going to be a big enough step and it's still going to get people excited about it. So I just want to share with you one little thing out of the book and then we're going to wrap up. Page 159. So this is right out of the game plan book on chapter 18. What did I start here? Personality. Yeah, I think we'd be. We think that nobody has any interest, but if we really knew how our friends felt about what they did 40 hours a week, I think they'd be far less timid in approaching them. Even people who absolutely love their jobs, just like I did, I love anchoring news, have moments when they come home and they look in their children's eyes and they wish that they had a little bit more of themselves to give. That's where Young Living comes in. All right, that's where Young Living comes in. That's right out of the book, out of the game plan book. So be bold with it, all right? Personality doesn't matter. I look over my silvers. Most of my silvers are yellow personalities or greens. They're shy. They're timid. We only have 2 in-your-face people out of 14 silvers on my team, only 2 that are really bold. So personality doesn't matter. That's an excuse. That's an excuse because even yellows and greens can hand a book to somebody, right? Even yellows and greens have visions and have dreams and have goals and they'll fight for their kids and they'll fight to be home. They'll fight for a cause. So don't discount the personality types. You don't have to be bold to share. Maybe you're not standing in front of 50 people. Maybe you're standing in front of 2 or 3 people or 1 person, but that does not discount you. There was something that Danny Johnson told me that really, really blew my mind. She said, if you look over all network marketing companies, all of them in the whole world, the number 1 personality for diamonds is the pearl personality, the yellow personality, the number one. There are more yellows as diamonds than any other personality type. Why is that? Because they're loyal. They stick with it. They don't give up. They just keep going. They might not rank as fast as all the other people around us, but I'll tell you, as the blue-red, the red-blue personality, we tend to go squirrel. We see it if we don't rank fast enough, if people beat us at it, if we don't feel like we can win, if we get distracted with those 6 mistakes that the 6 pitfalls that the business builders can make. We just tend to go on to the next thing, right? Whereas the yellow personalities will see it through because they know where it goes and they're not letting go. The greens will see through it and they'll keep going because they understand analytically where the end game is, and it makes analytically more sense than where they are right now. So don't tell me that because you're not bold and in your face that you can't do this, because you have more of a chance of getting there than I did. Okay? You do. You got more of a chance of getting there than I did. And I'm not throwing the reds and blues under the bus either. You guys can get there too. Just don't get distracted. Don't get distracted, all right? Those are your Achilles heels based on personality types. I just gave you like a 60-second personality training. So personality does not matter. Do not use that as an excuse. Do not use that as a crutch. Just do what you can do based within your talents and your gifts. So if you can catch the vision and see where it goes, and you can get your leaders to catch the vision and see where it goes, then you will have an impassioned leader, no matter what their color type is, all right? No matter what their color type is. What's the benefit of Young Living over the other MLMs that are out there? You don't have to stock product. It's a consumable product. They need it every single month. It's a willable income that they can pass to their children even after they die, and your income's over $3,000 a month. You can just keep passing it and passing it and passing it and passing it. There's no income ceiling. You're your own boss. You set your own hours. You decide when you're going to work. You decide how hard you're going to work. You decide if there's seasons you need to rest. Guys, come on. Like, you can't do that with any other job out there. It legit is the best job on earth. Like, it is the best job. It offers you more freedom than any other job on the planet. Even if you love your job, even if you love what you're doing, this is the best job. So I don't ever push it to people to say, here, if you just want to get your oils every month, this is what you do. I always push it and say, this is better than what you're doing. Okay. Like, this is the better option, because if you stack up what you're doing against what this is better. Let me show you that it's better. Let me show you how to do this. Just grab the 3 pages and read it to people. That's it. That's as hard as this gets. So you got to pass that passion to the people around you. Also, I'll tell you, pray for leaders. Pray specifically for the Lord to bring leaders to your team. I remember I had a 2-month dry spell where I didn't get any leaders to my team at all, like none. And I was getting downright frustrated. I told you I'm a red, right? Very, very frustrated. And so I sat down and I prayed, and I swear to you, it's exactly what happened. My phone rang about an hour after I prayed. By that night, I had 7 new business builders on my team, literally from the one prayer. It was just God waiting for me to release how tightly I was holding onto my business and surrender it to him, and pray specifically for leaders and where I needed those leaders and what personality types I was looking for. Maybe it was a leg that was saturated with red blues and it needed greens on it, or a leg that was saturated with yellows and it needed a little red, a little blue fire on it, right? Whatever. But I prayed specifically for color types. I prayed for where I needed them. I prayed for the legs. I prayed for the type of leader. I prayed for the number of leaders, and God just like bam, 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 bam. He just hit me with the leaders. So pray specifically, because God will answer that. And I'm so fanatic about praying specifically that I actually wrote a whole chapter in the book in it. And we're going to have a whole boot camp training on how to pray specifically over your leaders, because God will bring them. He will bring them. So brace yourself for it, right? One last thing I'm going to throw at you, and that's a word on upline support, on wanting your upline to do things for you. Man, do I hear this a lot, like a lot. I will tell you, when I signed to the business, the 2 people that signed me were not doing the business, and they immediately went to a different MLM and they started doing that MLM instead. When I went up 5 levels to somebody I'd never even met, she did the business for a year, got frustrated, and then she fell into one of the 6 pitfalls that I wrote about. And then she went and sold her distributorship to somebody else. So literally every single person I knew in Young Living, everywhere, was not doing the business. I had 0 leadership. I didn't know how to contact my diamond. She didn't know me from Adam. I was like 14, 15 levels in. She had no idea who I was. I didn't have any script. I had no idea how to do the business. I had no network marketing experience, no sales experience. So you can use that as an excuse. Well, my upline didn't give me a gift, or my upline didn't train me. You have no excuse now. You've got a game plan book, all right? You don't need upline training. If your upline has training, that's awesome. That's awesome. Lean on it, all right? Absolutely. Game plan is not meant to replace systems that are already in place. It's meant to come alongside systems where you're feeling like you need more. Okay, for the greens out there that want a little bit more strategy to it. Or, you guys are on here because you feel like you need more. So this is meant to come alongside the stuff that's already out there, because what I found was everything was all over the place and I wanted it in one place. What I don't want you to do is blame your upline for you not ranking, because the only person's fault that is yours. I can't blame my upline if I'm not getting to diamond as fast as I want to get to diamond. That's my problem. It's not their responsibility to place people under me so I can rank up. It's my responsibility to get that 3-page script in front of as many people as I can, no matter what excuses I'm coming up with, right? It's my responsibility. And in the workbook, I have you write it out. One of the homework assignments is writing out, nobody's responsible for my business but me. I am not going to hold my upline responsible for my failures, for my excuses. This business, its successes and its failures fall on my shoulders, all right? And nobody else's. So if I succeed at this business, I succeed because I worked it. If I fail at this business, I fail because I didn't work it, because I made mistakes, right? Not because somebody else isn't doing my business for me. It does not fall on their shoulders to run your business for you. It falls on you. Okay. The other thing I want to say too is, bloom where the Lord has planted you. I know David Stewart, Dr. David, he's got a policy that if somebody writes him and says, hey, I want to switch to your team, could you give me the information on how to switch to your team and give me the form and I'll get it signed so I can switch to your team? You know what he does? He just hits delete. He doesn't even respond to those requests. He doesn't even respond to them. I don't either. So don't write me and ask that. I don't. I have tremendous respect to the people that poured into you to get you on their team. And maybe you don't know anybody who's on your upline. It's all right. You got a game plan book. You got strategy. You know where to place people. You got scripts. You got no excuses. You're not going to blame your upline. You're going to bloom where you're planted. The Lord had a reason for putting you exactly where you are right now. Wherever that place is, you're supposed to be there for a reason, all right? And you're supposed to be blessing those people above you. There's somebody above you that the Lord wants you in that place for. So stop looking at the grass is greener on the other side. If you're not blooming where you are now, you're not going to bloom on my team. You're not going to bloom on David Stewart's team or Ollie Wanker's team, right? It's you. All right. The issue isn't the grass. The issue is you. So you need to take the 3-page script and go get out there and get it in front of people. Okay, and bloom where you're planted. So there you go. I threw a lot of rough stuff at you guys tonight. Don't blame your upline. Bloom where you're planted. You just need a script and a starter kit. That's it. Take the 3-page script, take the starter kit, get it in front of people. That's the only rule to doing this, all right? Now, I want to say, too, please know I'm not dissing your guys' uplines. We really legitly have the most awesome diamonds in all of network marketing. I mean, the most awesome diamonds and platinums and golds and silvers and executives and senior stars, all right, and distributors. We are the best. All right, the best of the best of the best. So it's not a diss at the leadership in it all. What I want you to do is own your leadership. Okay, become one of those leaders. If you don't feel like you're there yet, then become one of those leaders so that you fall into the category of people wanting to be around you because of your leadership. All right. So hopefully this was a blessing to you guys tonight. It gave you some direction on where to place people, where to strategize people. Stop the blame game. Redirect your energy towards your business. Don't blame your upline. Don't want to switch teams. Just redirect your energy of being frustrated towards your Young Living business. You can do this. You just got to walk. All right. You just got to walk. So homework for tonight is to read chapter 18 in the game plan book. Also to open up your game plan game plan workbook and do the chapter 18 workbook assignment in there as well. And then join me tomorrow night. Let me take a look at what the topic is for tomorrow night. Oh, I know what the topic is for tomorrow night. So we went through where to sign new Oilers. Tomorrow is the key to reaching and maintaining rank. So maybe you've had silver and then you lost it, or you had senior star and then you lost it and you don't know why you lost it and you don't know how to get it back. This chapter is specifically for you. Maybe you're pushing to get to silver. You don't know what you need to do to be able to do it. You know where to sign people. You understand the strategy, but you don't really know what motions you need to be going through. This is a totally different chapter from all the other chapters in the book. And we're going to give you some ridiculous tools that are really going to help you. So thanks for hanging with me to the end. Hopefully you guys have been inspired. You got a little bit of strategy under your belt. You know the direction you're facing. You're going to take the reins in your organization. Hold yourself accountable for your successes and your failures. If you want to start living a clean living life, get the Living Balanced book by Stacy Kimbrell. Grab the Your Game Plan books. Go place a bulk order for the Your Game Plan books so we can get those out to you and you can hand them out like candy in all of your classes. And love you guys. You're doing great. You've made it all the way to day 18. Tomorrow's day 19, which means we only have a little more than a week left and then boot camp is over. I'm toying toying with the idea of doing a round table on Tuesday nights for a half hour. I just answer your questions on the book, because I know so many of you guys ask me questions and I can't get to all of them. So I'm toying with that idea. So we'll talk a little bit more about that tomorrow. But for now, you got the link to the Your Game Plan book. Go get your game plans. And I love all of you guys. You're amazing. Go Team Young Living, and I'll see you tomorrow night.